Now I'm going to show you a few basic tricks that will make your juggling a little bit more interesting. First of all, the overhand throw. It's not a very difficult concept to grasp, so don't spend too long on it. But take two balls, and again you're going to throw the first one, but instead of going underneath it as it reaches a peak, you're going to go over it. Like that, instead of like that. So just practice that a few times, get used to it both ways. And then try doing it in your full pattern. You wait until the previous ball reaches its peak, just like a normal throw, except you go over it. Now notice the overhand throw goes over the entire pattern. It goes over both balls and lands all the way on this side, and you throw underneath it, like a normal throw. It's a pretty wide arch. Also, you'll notice when you're doing a normal pattern, normal cascade, your hands go in circles this way. When you're doing an overhand throw, for a moment your hand will go in a circle this way. So like that. You'll feel this especially if you throw every second ball. You can notice a kind of rocking motion in my right hand. To go under, over, under, over. Now if you throw all overhand throws with one hand, that pattern is called a half shower. It's a pretty nice pattern. You can do it both ways. If you choose one ball, and every time you catch that ball, you go back and forth, that's called juggler's tennis. It's also important not to stress out and throw the next ball too early after your overhand throw. The overhand ball will, in most cases, go higher than the other balls. See that? That means it'll have more hang time, so you have to wait a little bit longer before it reaches that peak. But don't worry about it. Even if you throw it up really high, just wait. Don't freak out and then have two balls in the air at once, and it gets a little hectic. That's basically the overhand throw. Just throw it in every now and then. It's fun to mess around with. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, the reverse cascade. If you do all overhand throws, you end up like this. Both hands doing this motion. And that's a very nice pattern too. But to start out with, I would just try peppering your normal cascade with a few overhand throws from both sides. So have fun with that. Another fun little variation of throwing while you're doing your normal cascade is an underhanded throw. That. You can do this both ways also. And it's not too hard to understand. Start with two balls. You're going to throw the first one. Now, as this one's moving, you're going to move underneath your other arm and throw straight up, like a straight column, beyond your hand which is through, like this. Your hand which is through over doesn't move that much. Pretty much stays in the same spot. The other hand does the sweeping. Once you're done throwing that column throw, you come back and catch the ball again where you started. It's a little awkward at first, but you'll get used to it. When you're doing with three balls, you basically just wait until you catch one. You're going to go under. Here, I'll turn off the one I'm going to catch. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to try to catch this one and go under with it. And you just sweep under while you're doing three. Hope that's helpful. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's also important to practice being able to do two balls in one hand. Now, personally, I would start out with your strong hand, but also make sure that I'm still practicing with my weak hand, because you don't want to get out of balance. If you're going to be doing four, you have to be just as strong in both hands, or at least somewhere close. A lot of tricks are based on the three main patterns with two balls in one hand. There's columns, where both balls are moving vertically next to each other. There's no crossing going on. Left ball stays on the left side, right ball stays on the right side. There's the outwards pattern, where you're throwing from the inside of your body to the outside. And of course the inside pattern, where you're throwing from the outside to the inside. Personally, I find it harder to throw from the outside in, but some people find that easier. Whatever works for you. Just make sure you can keep two balls in the air at once. The speed is a little bit faster than the three-ball cascade, but the timing is the same concept. You have to wait for the first ball to reach its peak and then throw the next ball. As that first ball is peaking and pausing, you're pausing down at the bottom and getting ready to throw the next one up. Your hand works kind of like a piston. It's probably easier for you to start out learning columns because you don't have to worry about the arcing of the ball, like throwing it too far or whatever you're going to be doing by accident. So just do whatever's easier for you and try to make sure you can hold two in the air at once for as long as possible, preferably in both hands.